Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be showing you how I made this free palazzo pants with elastic band at the back, and I'll also show you how I fixed the pocket as well. These are the measurements I'll be working with: the waist, the hip, the knee length, the lap, the full length, and the ankle. So now I'm going to take my full measurement, that's the trouser length. I'm going to take it this way, and I'll also add my 2-inch folding allowance. So I'll mark at this top. This will serve as my waistline. So because I'll be attaching band to this, I'll minus the band measurement. So I'll be taking 1.5 inch from this measurement. So now I won't be making use of this line anymore. This is the new line we'll be working with now. I have a detailed video on how to cut a female trouser. Please do well to check that video out. Like I said, won't be working with this other line. I minus the band measurement, which is 1.5. So now my measurement will be starting from this line. The next thing now is to take my horizontal lines. I'll mark out my horizontal lines. So I'll be placing my hip at 8 inches. I'll mark the line. Then I'm going to take my crouch line. How to get your crouch line: you divide your hip by 4. Whatever thing you get, you place it vertically. So now this is me dividing my hip into 4. So now I'll place it, but I won't be placing it at 9.5 because dividing my hip gave me 9.5 after dividing into 4. I'm not placing it there. I'll be adding 2 inch to this because I want it to be free. It's a free palazzo. If you want yours to be fitted at the crouch area, please, when you divide your hip by 4, just mark your crouch line at that line. Don't add 2 inch to it. I'm adding 2 inch because I want my palazzo to be free. Please, let's get that right. So now I'm going to be placing mine at 11.5 because I added extra 2 inches to this. If you want yours to be fitted, please mark it at your hip divided by 4, whatever thing it gives you, please. So the next thing now, I'm going to mark my knee length. After that, now I'll divide my hip into 4. I'll make a mark there. Whatever thing I get, I'll take it to my waistline straight. I'm doing this because I'm going to add elastic to this, so I'm not doing a waist measurement here. I'm not dividing my waist. So the next thing, I'm going to take my lap measurement divided by 2. Then I'm just going to connect it this way. Now to help curve this, I'm going to come up here by 1 inch. From this line, I'll come up by 1 inch, just like you see me doing, and then I'm going to connect it. This will help me curve it. Just if you are not using your French curve to curve, but this is an easy way for you to just curve it. I'll be using freehand for all my measurements here. So now for this waist area, I'm going to come in this way by 1/2 inch. This is just to help the waist area to relax more. Sometimes when you wear trouser, there's a bulge at that upper area, but when you reduce it by 1/2 inch, it helps it sit flat on you. So now I'm going to divide my ankle divided by 2. I'll be placing it on my knee length. When making this, make sure your measurements are as free as possible. Don't make it tight. If you make your measurements tight, it's not going to give you a free palazzo. So I'm going to connect it to this down. Then after that, I'm going to cut it out, and that's it for the front area. Then I'm going to cut this side open. I'm going to cut it open. Okay, now so I'm going to use this now to trace out the back piece. This simple. The only difference here is this crouch line. So I'm going to extend this crouch line by 2.5. I'm going to extend it this way, and I'm going to make a mark just the way I'm doing. Then at this upper part, at this hem, I'm going to come up by 1.5 inch, and I'm going to blend it to this side. Then I'm going to extend this by 2 inch. You can decide to extend it down this way. This for the sewing allowance and all. So now I'm just going to shift this my front piece now. I'm going to shift it to join that line, that my 2-inch line, and then the crouch area should be meeting that 2.5-inch I extended. I don't know if you understand me. This is just the easiest way to just cut it out. So of doing a whole lot of marking all over your trouser. By the time you do the extension at the crouch area and the extension at the upper back area, then you're good to go. You just move it the way I did and your allowances will still be there. Okay, so the extension at the upper back area is basically for comfort. So when you sit, your butt can relax well without the back of your trouser going down. So this is it. I'm done cutting. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out the pockets for this. So I'll just bring out these little pieces and then I'll just go in this way. I'll mark out 7 inches and then come down by 10 inches. You can decide to make yours bigger, but this works perfectly for me. The width 7 inches and the depth 10 inches, and I'm just going to connect it this way and then cut it out. This is just one piece, so I'm going to cut out like 4 pieces of this. This will be for both pockets. So I've gone ahead to cut out 4 pieces for this. The next thing I'm going to do now is just to give it a curve. You can decide to leave yours this way. So I'm going to come up this way by 3 inches and I'm just going to connect it. After connecting, I'll just cut it out. And I'll make a notch at this upper part. This optional. Then I'm going to close this up. I'll take this front piece of this trouser, front side facing front side. I'm going to place it this way and I'm going to use 1/2 inch and close it up. Then I'm going to stop here. I'll close to this from there to this end. Then I'm also going to repeat this for the back piece, front side facing front side, and I'm going to close this area. Okay, I've gone ahead to close this area. This is what it looks like. I've also gone ahead to close the back as well. So now I'm going to fix the pocket, and to do this I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. To fix this, I'm going to open up my trouser this way and then take one piece of this pocket I cut out and face it front side facing front side this way. And then I'm going to, from this end, I'm going to measure 2 inches. I'll make a mark there and then I'm going to come down by 7 inches, just an opening enough for the hand to pass through. So I'm going to connect these 2 points this way. This is just a guide. Then I'm going to sew on this line I just made now. Okay, so after that I'm going to make a notch here. Just watch closely. Just a little notch at this area. This is very important because if you don't make this notch, it's going to make your work difficult for you. So I'm going to turn this over to the back side and then shift this excess now to the, I'm going to shift it to the pocket area and then I'll just close it down. We don't want it dangling all over the place, so I'll just hold this down towards the pocket area, just the way you see me doing. That's it. So the next thing now is to hold this, fold this in like this, and then run a tiny stitch. Okay, so that's it. With ironing, this will be smoothened out. So now the next thing, I'm going to bring another piece of the pocket. I'll place it this way, the front side facing the upper part. Then I'm going to place the trouser this way. Place it this way. Then I'll flip this over like this, just the way I did. And then I'm going to run a stitch. I'm going to sew these two pockets together like this. I hope you're understanding what I'm doing here. And that's it. Your pocket is ready. Then at this top part, I'm just going to hold this together like this. And that's it for the pockets. As you can see, the next thing now is to repeat the same process for the other side of the trouser. So now I've done this, I've put fixed two pockets. So the next thing is to close this up. I'll bring the back piece, front side facing front side, close one part, and then take this other part and close it as well. Okay, I'm gonna head to close this trouser. The next thing now is to take this downside this way, the inner part of this, and then I'm going to also close it up with half an inch. Take this other part, close it up with half an inch. Okay, as you can see, I'm gonna head to close the trouser up. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to take the waist measurements. That will help me for the band, because the waist measurement has to be the same with the band. So I'll take the waist measurements round, and what he gave me was 39. And I also went ahead to get a band that is also 39 in length. Let me just cross check that. 39 inches, but if you're making yours, please add 1 inch to yours, because when you close this band, your 39 inches will shorten. And this band, the wideness of the band is 5.5 inches. So I'm also going to take this now and I'll close this band. I'll close it up. I'm going to take measurement of where the elastic band will start from. The elastic band will be starting from one side of the trouser to the other side. The front will be having the elastic, so I'm just going to take my tape and then I'm going to measure the back area where I'll be putting the elastic. So I'm going to measure round this way to this end, to this end. That gave me 23 inches. So now to mark out where the elastic will be staying, because not every part of this trouser that will be having elastic. So I'm going to divide the 23 inches, divide the 23 inches into two. I'll turn this over to the wrong side. Then take my measurement. Place it this way. 23 divided by 2 gave me 11.5. I marked it here. Just like this. Just follow up. You understand what I'm doing. Then I'll turn it over and I'll also mark it. Now this remaining part will be for the front, which I'll be putting an interface on. So I've gone ahead to cut an interface I'll be placing for the front area, while the back will carry an elastic. So I'll just open this up this way. I just hope you understand. This is the front area from these two lines now. So I'm going to just cut this. This is just to make the band a little bit stronger at the front. So now I'm going to place it this way and I'm going to iron this band out well. Okay, so I've gone ahead to iron this out. This is what it looks like. I think I'll do a comprehensive video about how to iron a band. I'll consider doing that video. So I've gone ahead to iron this. This is how it is, well ironed. With this, I think you can understand how I iron this. The next thing now is to face this. So now this is the front area, this is the middle part, and this is the middle part of the band. This is the middle part. So I'm going to take this front side facing front side, and I'm going to attach the band to the trouser. I'm going to do this all around. I'm going to attach this band all around. Okay, I've gone ahead to attach this to the trouser. The next thing now is to fix the elastic. To do this now, I have to bring it to the sewing machine. So this is the front and this side is the back. So I'm going to take my tape and measure around the back area where the elastic will be staying. I'll just measure this just to confirm the 23 inches. So I'm going to divide this 23 inches into two. That will be whatever thing it gives me is what I'm going to cut out as my elastic. So now 23 inches divided by 2, that's 11.5. I'm going to place it here now and then cut out the elastic. That's the measurement to be using for the elastic. Okay, now for the placement, I won't be placing it on this line where I had this interface on. I'll be placing it on this other line, this one here. I hope you understand. Then I'm just going to hold this down. So now I'll close this up this way, just what I'm doing. I'll push in this SSC, this is the front. Then I'm going to just turn it over to the front side. You sew from the front side. You push it in this way. Make sure all these SS are pushed in. Then you sew. Mind you, this is the front area. I've not started sewing the elastic area. So I'll just push this in. Make sure everything is neat. And then I'll just sew. Make sure you're sewing very close to the band where you join the band with the trouser. Very close to it. The thread is not supposed to be showing. So I'm going to do this now to the other end of the interface. Okay, so I've stopped along this way. I stopped just here to enable me fix the other side of the elastic. So now I'll be placing this elastic. I'm going to take this elastic now, and I'm going to place it this way here above where I kept the interface, not on the line where I kept the interface. This will help prevent the sewing not to show at the front of the band. So now I'm just going to secure this as well. I'm going ahead to secure this. So now is to start closing it. As you can see, the back is it has more excess than the elastic. So you fix this up this way. I'm going to turn this over to the front side as well. And then I'll start closing up. Then you'll be adjusting this. This is quite tricky, but you just have to take your time. As you're sewing, you are adjusting, using your hand to adjust and make sure that it is smoothened out before you start sewing. If not, you're going to come out with a rough work. So I'll keep doing this. After sewing, then you also stretch out this elastic. You continue to do this to the end of the elastic. By the time you stretch out, you use your hand and make sure it is well smoothened out. You keep sewing. If you are yet to subscribe to the channel, please do well to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. And this is the last part. You pull to make more room. Always make sure you stretch it out. Stretch it out and sew. And that's it. This is the back. See how smooth it's looking. and this is the front area. You can decide to run extra stitches on this. That's if you want to. Now I'm going to be running extra stitches on this, but to make it even, I advise you use needle to hold it, just the way I'm holding it, space it out, use a pin to hold it before running a stitch on it, because if you don't hold it this way, all the fabric will go to one side. So you need to just hold it this way. Then you can now run your stitches. Run as many stitches as you can, and when running these stitches, you stretch out your elastic, just the way I'm doing. You can decide to run as many lines as possible. It all depends on what you want. And with that, the palazzo is ready. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share this video please. See you in the next one. Bye.